Well, good morning, y'all. And a special salute to Alicia and all the music makers here, and all the invisible ones upstairs, all the folks who helped make this service meaningful. Thank you. I am Susan Burt, and I'm hosting for Reverend Dr. Crystal Bujol, who will deliver the message this morning. Most of you already know Dr. Bujol, and you have experienced her magic, but if you haven't and you don't, you will by the end of this morning. We at this Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Vero Beach stand firmly on the side of love, and that means we welcome you just as you come to us. We love who you are, just the way you are. If this is your first time here, please do stay for coffee after the service. Just follow those who are scurrying along to get to the treat table first and take a red cup for your beverage so we can find you and say hello. I have one announcement that I'm going to make before I continue. At 11:30 this morning, the book club invites you to our discussion of the book First Ladies, a historical novel about Eleanor Roosevelt, following a brief discussion with Barbara Zitz, who knew and whose family lived with Eleanor. And they will share personal stories and answer questions about this great woman. So join them in the library. Please look through the announcements printed on the front page of your bulletin. We're wishing Laura a quick recovery. And yesterday afternoon, Patty and I heard from our dear friend Ginger Heller that Ken, a very dear man, was back in the hospital again. He has been ill for some time and now suffering even more. No phone calls to Ginger, please. But we all have the power to send him our love, and let's try and do so sometime today. Now, one tweak to the order of service this morning is that Crystal will be doing her greeting, and we all will greet each other after the chalice lighting and before the opening hymn. No need to panic. We'll let you know. And now, please silence your phones and relax into this Sabbath hour.
Ever dancing circles in the night.
I'm going to ask you to join me in lighting the chalice. I'll read the first line and ask you to read the second section and so forth, and we'll all read the end together. We light this chalice in the presence of our ancestors, those who crossed lands and waters, carrying stories, songs, and questions that still echo in us today. As the flame rises, may it awaken curiosity in our spirits, the kind that leans forward, listens deeply, and wonders about the meanings hidden in the words we hear today. So when someone says, "Hello, my African sister," may this light stir a gentle question in us. What history is being honored? What connection is being remembered? What truth is stepping back into the light? May this flame guide us toward understanding, toward lineage, and toward the deeper belonging that lives beneath our differences. Let this light awaken curiosity. And so it is. Would you like, are we going to light the peace candle now? Do we light the peace candle now? Okay, would you light it? Yeah. Okay. And we light this peace candle for all the peace we've ever known, for the peace we're experiencing today, and the peace we dream into being for all of our tomorrows. So you know it's getting ready to happen, right? But I'm going to do a shortcut today. And it's important today because I'm only speaking to the sisters today. I'm only going to speak to the sisters, to my African sisters. So hello, my African sisters. Hello. Oh, Bob, you answered and I said my African sisters? You know something everybody else doesn't know? Is there anyone here, is there any man here who has not heard me speak before? Just raise your hand for me. Okay. So did you answer me when I said, hello, my African sisters? No. Wonder why. Well, see, the sisters know, the women know that they're my African sisters because of the great mother who came from the planet Africa. We all came from that planet. Yeah, I know I'm saying planet. And those of you that have an X chromosome, do you men have an X chromosome? Is there anyone here that doesn't have an X chromosome? Well, that makes you my half-sister. So since I'm only speaking to sisters today, that half of you, being my half-sister, are part of whom I'm speaking to. And I thank you for being with us today. I hope you will enjoy the service. There's one little change we're making. The choir knows it because they're still sitting, and that is we're going to greet each other after the hymn, while the hymn is still playing after the last verse. And so this wonderful choir will lead you in morning hymn.
Gather
So now it's the time to greet each other.
Growing in all
Good morning.
by the moon and fed by the sun, winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
We're going to touch on it. Yes, sir. Just before we begin the story for all ages, I'd like for you to know this, that today's story comes from a slightly alternate reality, one where memory, imagination, and ancestry sit side by side. It's a little bit longer than usual, but it weaves in Memorial Day, the military, our loved ones, and the old UU spirit all in one thread. Don't worry about it being longer because my sermon is shorter. You're going to get out on time. So settle in and listen to the myth with your heart and watch for the moment when everything connects. Our LRE lady, Jenny, is going to read the story for all ages.
And this story was written by our very own Reverend Dr. Crystal Bujol, the sister who tumbled off the edge of the sky. High above the world lived the seven sisters, bright, shimmering beings who watched over the earth with love, laughter, and music. The youngest sister was named Curiosity. Her sisters called her the Sky Child because she listened, wondered, and asked more questions than anyone. One morning, Curiosity heard something new, a voice rising from the earth saying, "Hello, my African sisters." "Did you hear that?" she asked her sisters, stepping closer to the rainbow's edge. "Someone down there is calling everyone her African sister. Why would she say that? How can they all be sisters? What does she mean?" Curiosity leaned and leaned, trying to hear those words more clearly. Other sisters smiled the way older sisters do when the youngest one is about to start something. Suddenly, the oldest yelled, "Catch her, quickly!" Curiosity was too fast. She didn't wait for an answer. She leaned over the edge of the sky as her sisters ran toward her. And then, because questions pulled her forward like gravity, she leaned just a little too far. Oops! She tumbled right off the edge of the sky. Down she came with a splash, right into the UUFBB sanctuary when the preacher was welcoming the people at Claudia Jimenez's ordination. Nobody expected a little girl to fall out of the sky and land in the choir loft. Everyone was surprised, but not as much as Curiosity. She fell on the edge of the baptismal pool, bounced over everyone's head in the back row, just as the preacher said, "Hello, my African sisters." Curiosity rolled off of the top of the preacher's head and landed in Reverend Scott's lap. Then fell into the flowers. Sky Child's sudden fall to earth caused her to forget her manners. She bounced right up to the preacher, and without taking a breath, the questions began. Are you the preacher lady who greets men and women with, "Hello, my African sisters"? Why do you call everyone your African sister? Why don't they all look like an African sister? There are so many different colors of skin and noses and eyes and... Whoa, before you go any further, at our church, we greet each other first, before asking a bunch of questions. So, hello, little girl. I am Grandma Crystal. What is your name? My sisters call me Curiosity, but my mother calls me Sky Child. No sooner had she said hello than she tried to ask her question again. Well, hello, Grandma Crystal. I want to know why you... The preacher decided she'd better sit down for this little girl's questions, and Claudia agreed. As soon as the preacher sat down, Curiosity's questions rushed out. Why do you call them your African sisters? Because we all come from the same mother. That makes us sisters. The men too? Asked Curiosity. Of course, replied Grandma Crystal. We all come from the same mother, and in all of us is some of the great mother, even boys and men. I think of them as my sister too. They are my half-sisters. Rushing her words with the speed of a bullet train, Curiosity asks, how can everyone be sisters? We don't all look the same. We don't all sound the same. We're all different colors, different noses, different hair, different everything. And you still call them your African sister? The preacher smiled, the way one smiles when a very good question has just been asked. Let's explore a new way to think about our skin colors. Skip red and yellow, black and white. Try this for a new perception. Let's say we all have skin that is different shades of brown. Like the first mother, we are all different shades of brown. When you embody that idea, then you understand why I say we are daughters of the first woman, the first mother. That is why I greet everyone with, hello, my African sisters. We may look different, but we belong to one family. Why do we look different? We've been shaped by the sun, the wind, water, and time, but we belong to one family, carried from the same ancient mother into this open and beautiful world. Curiosity's eyes grew wide. She looked at the preacher's face, her hair, her skin, her unique shade of brown, her smile. Curiosity nodded slowly, as if she could feel the truth settling inside her. She looked at everyone in the room, the children, the parents, grandparents, everyone. She looked at their faces, hair, smiles, their unique skin, and slowly smiled because she could feel truth, the truth inside of them. Many UUFVBers shared photos of loved ones with her, saying, "These are all part of our beloved family." She looked at their faces, their hair, their skin, their smiles, their different shades of unique light, light brown, some so light it's almost white. She looked at the children's faces, the vets' faces, the hair, straight, curly, tangled, braided, up, down, combed, uncombed. She looked at their unique shades of brown skin. She looked at their rosy cheeks, their smiles, sometimes sad or worried, but mostly happy, sincere, joyful. She smiled slowly. Skin so light it's almost white, with rosy cheeks and curious smiles. Finally, she said, "Oh, I understand now." Our different shades of brown are not mistakes or punishments of badges, of honor or fear. They are our mother's way of making the world beautiful. And from that moment on, curiosity stayed close to the people at UUFVB, asking questions, learning, listening, and reminding everyone she met, you are unique. You are an African sister because you remember where you come from. Every night, Curiosity looks up at the sky. Her 6 sisters twinkle proudly, happy that their youngest sister had fallen to earth to find the answer to one of the questions the world wants to know. Why can we be African sisters and yet be so different? Because we are unique, and no one is better, no one is worse, no one is superior, no one is lesser. We are all unique. You are unique. I am unique. We are unique. And that's the message for all ages. Oops. Beautiful brown angel, do you have a special blessing for the children? I pray that when a child asks a brave or beautiful question, their parents will smile and say, there it is, the sky child in you.
Now we sing the children. We each come here with our own joys and sorrows, our own gifts and our own needs. Reverend Crystal stands before the very sustenance of life, a bowl of water. Water is everything to us. It cleanses, it soothes, and it nurtures us. But we can help nourish one another in times of sadness, stress, and devastation. We do so with acts of kindness and generosity. And we replenish each other when our hearts are broken. And so this water represents our sacred obligation to the greater whole. Reverend Crystal adds a pinch of salt to the water for all the tears we have shed this past week. And we are aware that there are those among us right now in pain. So be tender with each other. And the flowers that Crystal will place in the water, flower petals, they remind us of the beauty and the joy that surrounds us in our own lives every day. In a moment, you will come to one of the tables and add a stone to the water for a joy or sorrow. But first, those of you who would like for the Reverend to place a stone for you, please raise your hand and she will do so. So now, please come forward and place your stone as we hum and sing Spirit of Life. who may be listening. Crystal will place that stone. Oh, you can't hear me? One more stone for those at home. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Now, this is the time in our service when we express our gratitude and commitment by sharing our financial resources. To contribute to our fellowship, place your offering in an envelope that you can find on the back of the pew in front of you. Or you can donate to UUFVB by clicking on the QR code with your phone. But our offering today also serves another purpose, that of supporting an organization that addresses the needs of the underserved in our community. That is the purpose of our Sunday Fund, one of our congregation's major social justice outreach efforts. This organization is Team Success Enterprises. Team Success Enterprises aims to alleviate human suffering, homelessness, and hunger. That's a big mission. It provides mentoring programs and transportation for those in transitional housing. It helps low-income people move to better housing. It promotes strong families with activities at the Hope for Families Center. And now we will receive your offerings.
we're going to, I can't hear me. Am I on? Yep. Okay, oh, okay. You keep putting candles on your birthday cake, things change. And with that smile and with that laughter, I'm going to ask you to join me in a laughing meditation, because I've been told that laughter heals. And in this day and age when we're dealing with so many unusual issues, from politics, education, economics, etc., there are parts of us that could use an extra healing. And so, on the count of 2, I'm going to ask you to join me in just laughing, and don't stop until you're ready to stop. Okay? 1, 2. Come on, out loud. Let it out. And having cleared the way with your laughter, will you now shift and join me in a silent meditation with your smiles, with your laughter, thinking about whatever that laughter brought up for you. We're going to take a minute for that. Mother, Father God, just let the laughter permeate our entire being and bring to the surface all those beautiful thoughts and feelings that will set our lives in motion in a new atmosphere with a new consciousness. Let the joy lead us forward in this moment of silent meditation. And so it is. Amen.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
For each each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
So I thank our choir for all that they did this week to get ready for us. You know, the choir has such a big job because every Sunday we have new music selected for each speaker. Rehearsals. And I just thank the choir, and I thank Reverend Brown, Reverend John, for taking on this assignment. We don't know for how long, but I do thank you for that. I promised you a short sermon. So this morning, let's see, you heard the story of curiosity about the little sister who leaned too far and fell too fast and landed right here among us, asking the question that you answered today. And I'm going to show you just, oh, that isn't the right one. Did I do something? Nope. Keep going? Okay. All right. You keep going and I will too. No. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. One of our AV ladies doubles as choir and AV. Thank you for being here today, Violet. So I know that the slides went a little fast, and I just want to give you an opportunity to see Claudia and Reverend Scott, Reverend Claudia Jimenez, who many of you remember was our LRE person for years. We celebrated the military, and that's my family, because I couldn't find any military from the UU. That's my brother. It's my daddy from World War I. My daughter from the Vietnam area, and my brother again, because he's so cute. And people whose names we continue to call because they were here and their presence is still with us. And folks that are still with us. And some who aren't. and some who aren't. So I want to talk to my sisters. I have my pages numbered, and it doesn't look familiar, but it says short sermon. Here we are. And so what was the answer that curiosity, the one who fell from the stars, what was the answer she received? That answer lies at the heart of today's message. In her fall into Unitarian Universalism, curiosity found answers to her questions. She discovered hidden messages beneath the simple words, "Hello, my African sister." She learned that we took different. I tried my glasses. One pair I couldn't see out of in the distance. The other pair I couldn't read close. Give me a minute, I think I have a third pair over here. Maybe my computer glasses will work. Okay, so she learned that we look different because the earth shaped us. But we belong to one family because the ancient mother made us one. She learned that this is the beginning of sisterhood. This is an essential step, sisterhood. And though it's not the beginning of the world's healing, here's the point. The world is not going to heal without the sisterhood. And one of the reasons that it's not going to heal without the sisterhood is because sisters teach children, and children are girls and boys. And right now, the boys grow up to be in power and make rules, make decisions that affect all of us. We need the sisterhood to cross all of those lines of division, those lines of separating one group of women from another, those lines that separate our children from each other, those lines that make it hard for the children to survive, and those lines that make it extremely difficult for us women to come together and decide for ourselves to be sisters across the world. Right now, the current political scene has us separated into different countries because Great Britain did what it did, and France did what it did, and others before it, separating us, giving names to people, deciding who is right and who is wrong. And now we're dealing with some of the same thing in our own country. So just think about, just for the sake of this country, the sisterhood is where the power should be. And that's why I'm speaking to you about the sisterhood. I, as one person, can't do anything about the politics of this country. Not anything alone. But this is my contribution, to talk about the sisterhood wherever I am, whenever I can. And what is the value of the sisterhood? You know, there's this saying about if you teach a man to fish, because remember, I'm talking to sisters today. I'm not talking to the other part of some of you who might claim to be men. So you got to think about it with your sister's ear. So in this old fable, this old proverb, if you teach a man to fish, what does he do? Anybody know? He fishes and eats for himself. If you teach a man to fish, he'll fish and eat. But if you teach a woman to fish, she's going to feed her family. She's going to feed the cousin whose hands are shaking too much to hold a fishing rod still. She's going to feed the old lady who can't walk very well. She's going to feed her husband and her cousins and everybody in the community. That's what we do as sisters. I wasn't feeling too well last year. I had a little incident in my heart and then someplace else, and they said a bunch of things. But the sisters from UUFBB came out and brought me soup. Now, I could stand. I could walk to the door. I could cook. They didn't care. They brought soup, the sisterhood. And I'm not saying the men in this church don't care about me and don't care about what goes on in this church, but the part of the men upstairs in the AV, the sisters upstairs, care for me very much. That's why I had this little ugly looking thing on my back that's hooked up to my mic. They tried to put it in a safe place. They took care of the slides. That's the sisterhood in them, caretaking, nurturing, loving. But in general, the sisterhood is the most powerful, and it needs to spread way beyond the shoreline of this country. Right now, we have in this church many groups that are dealing with the sisterhood, with Fellsmere, with reproductive justice, etc. But we've got to go far out beyond the walls and grab hold to the hands of other sisters and draw them in to the sisterhood and let them know that they too are my African sisters. They may not care to hear about the African part. I know I can get away with that in this church, but it doesn't have to be African sisters. Just to let them know that we love them because we're family. We've been taught that the divisions that we deal with are essential and permanent. They're all man-made. And anything that's made by man can be remade by the sisters. So when I talk to you about the sisterhood, is that from a spiritual plane or from a practical plane? Actually, it's both. Because when women remember that they are sisters, and they remember that's the message, the world becomes harder to divide, harder to push war, harder to convince someone that the children of other people are expendable. Today's story for all ages and this sermon were created especially for us as Unitarian Universalists because we excel at receiving a message and turning its meaning into practice. So I hope this message leaves you with the same gifts Curiosity found when she woke up. One of the gifts is peace, because our differences come from the earth and not from division. Our differences come from the Great Mother, who, as you saw in this story, designed us all to be unique, to beautify the world. But one of those gifts is peace. One of the gifts that Curiosity found is meaning, a reminder that we all come from the ancient mother. And you don't have to go back thousands of years. You don't have to go back 4 million years to the first mother, Dinknesh, to the first woman. Just think about the fact that there was a woman who started the whole thing. Curiosity found hope because the separation of the sisterhood is temporary and unity is possible. Curiosity found language because to say that the earth shaped us is a gentle way to talk about race. And we need to talk about race. Just talk about it. We don't have to solve the problems that it has created, but communication can go a long way in conversations about race. And Curiosity found healing because Curiosity's innocence lets us revisit hard topics with softness. Everything today has been designed to embody the principle we hold so dear, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And so may you find comfort in this story, a story that says we were shaped by the world, but we're not separated by it. We are one family. We always were. So my African sisters and my half-sisters, may we remember the sisterhood. May we live like we belong to one another. And may we carry Curiosity's newfound wisdom, the wisdom that wakes us up to the truth. Our connection is deeper than what divides us. We were one family before the world forgot it, and we can be one family again. Blessed be. So if you will stand now as you are able to join us for our last hymn.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use, to build the common good, and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life,
It would be the last page. May we remember the truth beneath our differences, that we were kin before the world divided us, and we can be kin again. So may the sisterhood rise in you, the part of you that protects life, that feeds the village, that refuses to let fear decide the future, and chooses instead hope, courage, and love. May you see every face as a relative, and every difference as a story of sunlight and survival, and every person as a child of the ancient mother. And now, as always, hello, my African sisters. Go in peace.